All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Hakim doing and pushing His word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Now I wanted to get into this little lesson real quick. Pimping the Word, 501c3. Okay, I'm gonna let the apostle elders speak. This was a camp lesson like way back in March, around there, if I'm not mistaken. March 12th.
Oh, also, there's another example. He said they're taking the money and they taking the
Go back again.
There you go. Oh, also, there's another example. He said they're taking the money and they taking the money and rejected the Lord. Now this guy in the video, Bloodlines of the Illuminati, Fritz Springmeier, he said that one of the most favorite ways that members of the Illuminati like to appear as ministers, like pastors. He said that. This guy Fritz Springmeier. Y'all can Google it. Bloodlines of the Illuminati. Years ago, we used to watch that video. He gave a lecture. He said one of the most favorite ways they like to Illuminati members, as part of that club, they like to appear as ministers, pastors, ministers. So the church is definitely sold out to the state. Yeah. Forget about this separation of church and state. The church is owned by the state, the Rothschilds. Yeah. There you go. Oh, also.
So as you heard what the apostle elders were saying, those people behind those doors, they appear to you. They like to appear as ministers, right? Like the apostle elder was saying. So it's the same thing within this truth. Okay, you got people taking that 501c3, okay, and they're coming in the likeness of these people who are preaching in these churches, these pastors, these false pastors. Because one thing for sure, IUIC, they're not calling on the true names of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. They're saying JC, all of that stuff right there. So it shows that, look, these individuals, they're not truly for Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. They're out there for that bag, for that money. And, we've done videos in the past where a lot of these guys are throwing up certain symbols, hand symbols, and so on and so forth, right? And as you see, was it TGC Ministries, Sakari, whatever, Genesis? Look, man, their works were shown before all men, okay? Tons of people came to the conclusion that, these guys just came in to pimp the word, man. They weren't really, and even out of their own mouth, they weren't really truly convinced, within their hearts. They didn't have faith. They spoke against the letters of Paul. We could see them for who they are, man, okay? And we definitely knew they were pimping the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, all right? And what I mean by that, selling it, okay? You want a preset package, you could get a preset package, and then they do this, veil thing where they say, we are Hebrew Israelites, but really and truly, you just like, the 2/3, man, okay? And you just like those, church pastors out there pimping the word, man. So let's get into this real quick, man. Let's go to John chapter 12. And we do this in sincerity and in truth. We don't do this, looking for the world, money from the world and whatnot. We do this in sincerity and in truth, man. Slakia. John chapter 12 and verse 43. NLT. For they loved human praise more than the praises of Yahweh. Okay, and this is exactly how these individuals act. We see in pictures these guys on the Passover and whatnot. They all, Nate came in on a horse. These guys are taking taking pictures and, you know, try to make themselves look more than what they are, man. You're supposed to be humble in this truth. Psalms 34 and 18, if I'm not mistaken. Be of a broken, contrite spirit. Okay? But they're, you know, it's like they're trying to match or bring the world with them into this truth, and you can't do that. Okay? We tell them, yo, ain't no 5 o'clock shadows, grow your beard, so on and so forth. And here it is, these guys got cosmetic makeup, 5 o'clock shadows, you know, all trimmed up beard, you know, some of them with dreadlocks, whatnot, right? Fashionistas, man, like women, okay? And the prophets of old, they were not like that, okay? Rough, rugged, and raw, austere, all right? But these guys, you know, that pretty boy image, you know, that's the deal with the praises of men, you know? That's why I said they're aligning themselves with the wacky-tacky plantation Christianity, okay? They're not aligning themselves with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because it gives us the instructions right here in the book, man. Okay? So let's get back into this. And we know, hey, they love the praises of men more so than praising Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And that's a part of being humble and contrite. Know who your power is, man. You didn't make yourself, okay? We have a power, and our power is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, all glory, all praises, all honor goes on to him, or them. But here it is, you trying to take some form of glory and praise here. You're supposed to, hey, didn't he say to Jacob, yo, Jacob, you worm. You're supposed to be in a humble, contrite spirit, man. But yeah, here it is, the riches of the world got you, you know, yeah, I got to get a piece of that, you know. Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. Look to Yahweh's instructions and teachings. People who contradict his word are completely in the dark. And we know these individuals, they're completely in the dark because they completely contradict the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're not going by the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're going by their own vain opinions, and they love the praises of men. Okay? This is why they're in that fashionista type setting, right? Like I said, with the 5 o'clock shadows and whatnot. The scriptures clearly tell you and show you how you're supposed to be. Garments down to the foot. And here it is, these individuals got, you know, here it is, these individuals got, whatchamacallit, these individuals got t-shirt fringes, all these things, you know. You ain't supposed to have no damn t-shirt fringes, okay? You're supposed to have your garment down to the foot, all right? So anyways, people who contradict his word are completely in the dark, and they're completely in the dark. They're not teaching the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're teaching JC, you know, all these different names. We don't go by those names, okay? We go by the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So going back into this. Oops, Salakia. Let's go to Malachi chapter 3. Let me see that one there. Yeah, that's a good one, but I wanted something up here. Salakia. Yep, this is it right here. This is what I wanted to actually. Let me see what the next scripture. Yeah, 3 to 15. Micah chapter 3 and verse 13. NLT again. And I'm all doing, this is all in the NLT. You have said terrible things about me, says Yahweh. But you say, what do you mean? What have we said against you? And you know, they talk about the name of the Lord like yo plate yogurt and such things like that. That you can't do that against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's name. Making fun of the name. You know? This is our power that we're dealing with, but yet you're making fun of the name. Like it's some small thing. That's not no small thing. In fact, you're mocking Yahweh Bashim Yahushai when you're doing those things. So going back into this, you have said, what's the use of serving Yahweh? What have we gained by obeying his commandments or trying to show Yahweh of heaven's army that we are sorry for our sins? Yeah, they don't care. Okay? They don't care. Because they're not obeying the commandments. They're not serving the Lord to the best of their ability. We are trying to serve the Lord to the best of our ability. Okay? To what strength he giveth you, to what, what lot you're serving. We're trying to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of our ability. Therefore, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. But these individuals are not rehearsing the righteous acts. They're not trying to rehearse the righteous acts. Okay? What's so hard about wearing a garment down to your foot? What's so hard about growing your beard and not trimming the edges, marring the corners? Okay? What's so hard about not having a 5 o'clock shadow? Okay? And calling upon the names, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But you're teaching others to do other things. You're not teaching them within the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're pimping the word. Take that 501c3. So continuing, from now on, we will call the ignorant blessed, for those who do evil get rich, and those who dare Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to punish them suffer no harm. This is in their mindset because they're looking at the world, okay? And they're looking at that Christian, that wacky-tacky Christian, wacky-tacky plantation Christian way of teaching and getting the bag. So like I said, they're aligning themselves with this world, okay? For those who do evil and get rich, those who dare Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to punish them suffer no harm. So they really don't have no faith. They really don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They believe in something else, okay? And we know what they believe in, okay? So continuing. Yep. They're supposed to be the heads, right? Micah chapter 3, verse 1, NLT again. I said, listen, you leaders of Israel, you are supposed to know right from wrong, okay? You're supposed to know right from wrong. You're supposed to be teaching your congregation the right things. Starting with our apostle elders, bishops, sincere Akim. We all teach people the right things. We don't teach them to go do, melee, foolishness, right? We don't teach them to go against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, their power. We teach them to follow Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We don't teach them to, get in garbage, get involved with the world, because the world is enmity against the Most High, okay? The ways of this world is enmity against the Most High, man. So we don't teach, we remove ourselves from this world, man. So judgment, right? You're supposed to know that as a head, teaching the people and guiding the people. But you're not teaching them right. You got them out there in t-shirt fringes. You know what I mean? You got them out there doing the most. Passover parties, bottle girls, and all types of shit. The amount of times the apostle elders tell you that this is a solemn assembly, okay? This isn't for you inviting your neighbors and this isn't no party thing. From the time when we left Egypt, that was a solemn thing. That was a serious thing what was happening. And the time of Yahushai's You know, that was a solemn time, man. Okay? But yeah, here it is. You guys, making lightness of it. Okay? Verse 2, but you are the very ones who hate good and love evil. You skin